Welcome to ExHub MCQs. Get ready to master nationalism in India with 100 hand-picked MCQs covering key concepts and exam-focused questions. Stay tuned till the end to boost your exam score. What was the primary factor that contributed to the rise of Indian nationalism? Option A, influence of European ideas. Option B, anti-colonial struggle. Option C, economic prosperity. Option D, support from the British. The correct answer is option B, anti-colonial struggle. Explanation: Indian nationalism was closely linked to the anti-colonial struggle. The shared experience of oppression under colonial rule united diverse groups despite their different backgrounds and aspirations. The Congress, under Mahatma Gandhi, played a significant role in mobilizing these groups. MCQ: which movement did Mahatma Gandhi first launch in India upon his return from South Africa? Option A, non-cooperation movement. Option B, civil disobedience movement. Option C, Champaran Satyagraha. Option D, Quit India movement. The correct answer is option C, Champaran Satyagraha. Explanation: Gandhi's first major intervention in Indian politics was the Champaran Satyagraha in 1917. He led the indigo farmers of Bihar in their struggle against the oppressive plantation system, which forced them to cultivate indigo instead of food crops. This marked the beginning of his mass movement tactics in India. MC3. What was the Rowlatt Act, 1919, primarily aimed at? Option A, reducing taxes on Indian businesses. Option B, granting Indians self-governance. Option C, suppressing nationalist activities. Option D, promoting Hindu-Muslim unity. The correct answer is option C, suppressing nationalist activities. Explanation: the Rowlatt Act was passed by the British government to curb political activities and detain political prisoners without trial. It faced widespread opposition, leading to protests, hurdles, and eventually the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. It was seen as an unjust law that intensified anti-colonial sentiments. MCQ4. Why was the Jallianwala Bagh massacre a turning point in the Indian freedom struggle? Option A, it strengthened British rule. Option B, it led to immediate independence. Option C, it intensified nationalist movements. Option D, it brought Hindu-Muslim divisions. The correct answer is option C, it intensified nationalist movements. Explanation: the massacre, ordered by General Dyer on April 13, 1919, killed hundreds of peaceful protesters. This brutal act shocked the nation, leading to a surge in nationalist movements and strengthening the resolve for complete independence. It also marked a shift in Gandhi's strategies towards non-cooperation. MCQ5. What was the primary objective of the Khilafat movement? Option A, to support British rule. Option B, to restore the Ottoman Caliphate. Option C, to demand India's independence. Option D, to promote Hindu nationalism. The correct answer is option B, to restore the Ottoman Caliphate. Explanation: the Khilafat movement, 1919 to 1924, was led by Indian Muslims to protest against the harsh treatment of the Ottoman Caliphate by the British after World War I. Gandhi supported it to unite Hindus and Muslims under a common cause, merging it with the non-cooperation movement. MCQ6. What did Gandhi advocate in his book Hind Swaraj, 1909? Option A, armed revolution. Option B, industrialization. Option C, non-violent resistance. Option D, British loyalty. The correct answer is option C, non-violent resistance. Explanation: Hind Swaraj laid the foundation of Gandhi's philosophy, advocating non-violence, self-rule, and rejection of Western civilization's materialism. He believed that India's freedom could be achieved through self-reliance and moral strength rather than armed struggle. MCQ7. How did the non-cooperation movement impact the Indian economy? Option A, increased British imports. Option B, strengthened foreign industries. Option C, boosted Indian textile production. Option D, reduced Indian nationalism. The correct answer is option C, boosted Indian textile production. Explanation: the boycott of British goods led to a significant drop in the import of foreign textiles from 102 crore to 57 crore. This encouraged local industries, especially handloom and khadi production, making it a major economic tool in the freedom struggle. MQ8. Why did the non-cooperation movement lose momentum in cities? Option A, British concessions to Indians. Option B, lack of alternative institutions. Option C, Gandhi's arrest. Option D, decline of nationalism. The correct answer is option B, lack of alternative institutions. Explanation: while the movement saw mass participation, it eventually slowed due to the lack of alternative Indian-run schools, courts, and administrative systems. Poorer sections also found it difficult to afford khadi, which was more expensive than British mill-made cloth. MCQ 9. What was the main demand of peasants in Awadh during the non-cooperation movement? Option A. Option B, reduction in land revenue and abolition of forced labor. Option C, establishment of new universities. Option D, creation of industrial jobs. The correct answer is option B, reduction in land revenue and abolition of forced labor. Explanation: led by Baba Ram Chandra, Awadh peasants opposed high rents, forced labor, bagar, and frequent evictions by landlords. They organized protests and demanded fair land policies, aligning with the broader nationalist movement. MCQ 10. Who led the tribal rebellion in the Gudam Hills of Andhra Pradesh in the 1920s? Option A, Alluri Sitarama Raju. Option B, Baba Ram Chandra. Option C, Subhas Chandra Bose, Vallabhbhai Patel. The correct answer is option A, Alluri Sitarama Raju. Explanation: Alluri Sitarama Raju mobilized the tribal population against British forest policies that restricted their traditional rights. Though inspired by Gandhi, he believed in armed resistance, leading guerrilla attacks against the British before being captured and executed in 1924. MQ11. What was the primary cause of the workers' protests in Assam's tea plantations during the non-cooperation movement? Option A, demand for higher wages. Option B, rejection of the Inland Emigration Act. Option C, opposition to British education policies. Option D, support for Indian industrialists. The correct answer is option B, rejection of the Inland Emigration Act. Explanation: the Inland Emigration Act, 1859, restricted plantation workers from leaving their assigned areas. When the non-cooperation movement spread, workers saw it as a chance to break free and return to their villages, believing that Gandhi Raj would grant them land and freedom. Many were intercepted and punished by the British. MCQ 12. What led to the withdrawal of the non-cooperation movement in 1922? Option A, British government reforms. Option B, growing violence and protests. Option C, lack of public interest. Option D, Gandhi's arrest. The correct answer is option B, growing violence and protests. Explanation: Gandhi called off the movement after the Chauri Chaura incident, where protesters set a police station on fire, killing 22 policemen. He believed that the people were not yet ready for disciplined nonviolence and needed further moral training before continuing mass struggles. MC 13. What was the primary demand of the Simon Commission, 1927? Option A, granting full independence to India. Option B, reviewing the constitutional system. Option C, introducing complete British control. Option D, promoting Indian industrialists. The correct answer is option B, reviewing the constitutional system. Explanation: the British government set up the Simon Commission to assess India's constitutional framework, but it had no Indian members. This led to widespread protests under the slogan "Simon Go Back," uniting various political groups in opposition to British rule. MC 14. What was the significance of the Lahore Congress session in December 1929? Option A, adoption of the non-cooperation movement. Option B, demand for dominion status. Option C, declaration of Purna Swaraj, complete independence. Option D, end of British rule in India. The correct answer is option C, declaration of Purna Swaraj, complete independence. Explanation. At the Lahore session, presided over by Jawaharlal Nehru, the Congress officially declared the goal of complete independence, Purna Swaraj. January 26, 1930, was chosen as Independence Day, but it did not attract widespread participation, prompting Gandhi to find a more tangible issue like the salt tax. What was the immediate cause of the civil disobedience movement? Option A, failure of the Round Table Conference. Option B, rejection of dominion status. Option C, salt tax and British monopoly on salt. Option D, economic depression. The correct answer is option C, salt tax and British monopoly on salt. Explanation. Gandhi chose the salt tax as a unifying issue for mass resistance. The British monopoly on salt affected all Indians, making it a powerful symbol of colonial oppression. The movement began with the famous Dandi March in March 1930. M16. What was the impact of the Salt March on the Indian independence movement? Option A, it led to immediate independence. Option B, it strengthened nationalist unity. Option C, it divided Congress leaders. Option D, it increased British support. The correct answer is option B, it strengthened nationalist unity. Explanation. The Salt March was a masterstroke in mass mobilization, attracting national and international attention. It demonstrated the power of nonviolent resistance and inspired millions across India to break salt laws, boycott British goods, and refuse tax payments. 17. How did the British government respond to the civil disobedience movement? Option A, negotiations with Congress. Option B, brutal repression and mass arrests. Option C, granting full independence. Option D, forming new legislative councils. The correct answer is option B, brutal repression and mass arrests. Explanation. The British saw the movement as a direct challenge to their rule and responded with widespread repression. Peaceful protesters were beaten, thousands were jailed, and major leaders like Gandhi and Nehru were arrested, further fueling resistance. MCQ 18. Why did Gandhi agree to the Gandhi-Irwin Pact in 1931? Option A, to end the civil disobedience movement. Option B, to gain British support. Option C, to accept dominion status. Option D, to support the British economy. The correct answer is option A, to end the civil disobedience movement. Explanation. The pact led to the suspension of the civil disobedience movement and Gandhi's participation in the Second Round Table Conference. In return, the British agreed to release political prisoners and allow Indians to make salt. However, the conference ended in disappointment for Gandhi. MC 19. Why did the civil disobedience movement lose momentum by 1934? Option A, Congress abandoned the movement. Option B, lack of public interest. Option C, intensified British suppression. Option D, Gandhi's assassination. The correct answer is option C, intensified British suppression. Explanation. The British crackdown, mass arrests, and failure of negotiations weakened the movement. Additionally, internal disagreements within Congress and shifting priorities among different groups led to a decline in participation. MCQ 20. What was the main reason for business groups' initial support of the civil disobedience movement? Option A, economic nationalism. Option B, support for socialism. Option C, desire for British partnerships. Option D, religious motivations. The correct answer is option A, economic nationalism. Explanation. Indian business leaders such as G.D. Birla supported the movement to end British restrictions on Indian industries. They hoped that Swaraj would lead to a more favorable economic environment, free from colonial control and foreign competition. MCQ 21. Why did many Indian industrialists withdraw their support for the civil disobedience movement after 1931? Option A, fear of British retaliation. Option B, growth of socialist and labor movements. Option C, increase in British imports. Option D, economic instability. The correct answer is option B, growth of socialist and labor movements. Explanation: while industrialists initially supported the movement for economic benefits, they became apprehensive about its growing radicalism. The rise of socialist ideas and worker strikes threatened their interests, leading to a shift in their stance. MC22. Why did the working class not participate extensively in the civil disobedience movement? Option A, they supported British rule. Option B, Congress did not address their concerns. Option C, they feared unemployment. Option D, they were unaware of the movement. The correct answer is option B, Congress did not address their concerns. Explanation: the Congress, focused on gaining broad-based support, avoided direct demands that could alienate industrialists. As a result, workers participated selectively, such as boycotting British goods, but their involvement remained limited. MC23. What was a significant role played by women in the civil disobedience movement? Option A, fighting in armed battles. Option B, organizing labor unions. Option C, picketing liquor shops and boycotting foreign goods. Negotiating with the British. The correct answer is option C, picketing liquor shops and boycotting foreign goods. Explanation: women played a crucial role in protests, boycotting foreign cloth and liquor shops, and actively participating in demonstrations. However, their political representation within the Congress remained symbolic rather than influential. MCQ 24. What was Gandhi's stance on women's role in society despite their participation in the freedom struggle? Option A, he believed they should focus on home and family. Option B, he promoted women as political leaders. Option C, he encouraged women to join the army. Option D, he wanted equal rights for women. The correct answer is option A, he believed they should focus on home and family. Explanation: Gandhi saw women's contribution as vital to the movement, but primarily in non-confrontational roles. He emphasized their duty in maintaining families and social values rather than pushing for leadership positions in politics. MCQ 25. Why did many Dalits not actively participate in the civil disobedience movement? Option A, fear of British punishment. Option B, support for the British government. Option C, discrimination and lack of representation. Option D, preference for industrial jobs. The correct answer is option C, discrimination and lack of representation. Explanation: the Congress did not prioritize Dalit issues, fearing backlash from upper castes. Dalit leaders like B.R. Ambedkar demanded reserved seats and separate electorates, leading to tensions between them and Congress leadership. What was the significance of the Pune Pact, 1932? Option A, it granted complete independence to India. Option B, it ended untouchability. Option C, it provided reserved seats for Dalits in legislatures. Option D, it allowed Dalits to form a separate political party. The correct answer is option C. It provided reserved seats for Dalits in legislatures. Explanation: the Pune Pact was a compromise between Gandhi and Ambedkar. Instead of separate electorates, it granted reserved seats for Dalits within the general electorate, ensuring their political representation while maintaining unity. Why did some Muslim leaders distance themselves from the Congress after the 1920s? Option A, Congress was dominated by Hindu leaders. Option B, British support for Muslims increased. Option C, economic reasons. Option D, lack of interest in politics. The correct answer is option A. Congress was dominated by Hindu leaders. Explanation: the association of Congress with Hindu nationalist groups like the Hindu Mahasabha created mistrust. Many Muslims feared that their rights and culture would be overshadowed in an independent India dominated by Hindus. MCQ 28. What was Muhammad Iqbal's view on communal representation in India? Option A. He supported Hindu-Muslim unity. Option B. He advocated for a separate Muslim state. Option C. He wanted Muslims to integrate into Congress. Option D. He opposed British rule. The correct answer is option B. He'd for a separate Muslim state. Explanation. Iqbal argued that Muslims need separate electorates to protect their political interests. His ideas later influenced the demand for Pakistan, though his main concern was safeguarding Muslim identity. MCQ 29. Why did the All-Parties Conference 1928 fail to resolve Hindu-Muslim differences? Option A. The British interfered. Option B. Jinnah and other Muslim leaders rejected compromise. Option C. The Congress refused to negotiate. Option D. The conference lacked Muslim representation. The correct answer, option B. Jinnah and other Muslim leaders rejected compromise. Explanation. The conference sought to address minority representation, but M.R. Jayakar of the Hindu Mahasabha opposed key Muslim demands. Jinnah and others felt their concerns were ignored, leading to further division. MCQ 30. What was one major cultural strategy used to promote Indian nationalism? Option A. Use of British symbols. Option B. Revival of Indian folklore and history. Option C. Adoption of Western education. Option D. Encouragement of foreign migration. The correct answer is option B. Revival of Indian folklore and history. Explanation. Nationalists promoted Indian folklore, songs, and historical narratives to instill pride and unity. Figures like Rabindranath Tagore and Natesa Sastry collected folk tales to counter British claims of Indian inferiority. 31. How was Bharat Mata depicted in Abanindranath Tagore's painting? Option A. A warrior with weapons. Option B. A divine spiritual figure. Option C. A political leader. Option D. A British queen. The correct answer is option B, a divine spiritual figure. Explanation. Abanindranath Tagore painted Bharat Mata as an ascetic figure, symbolizing knowledge, food, clothing, and spiritual strength. Unlike later depictions with weapons, his version emphasized India's cultural and moral richness, aligning with nationalist sentiments. MC 32. What was the significance of Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay's Vande Mataram? Option A. It was a British anthem. Option B. It inspired the Swadeshi movement. Option C. It opposed Indian nationalism. Option D. It promoted Western education. The correct answer is option B. It inspired the Swadeshi movement. Explanation. Vande Mataram was written as a hymn to the motherland and became a rallying cry during the Swadeshi movement. It fostered a sense of collective nationalism and was widely sung during protests against British rule. MC 33. What role did folklore play in the Indian nationalist movement? Option A. It was used to justify British rule. Option B. It helped revive a sense of national identity. Option C. It promoted Western education. Option D. It was banned by Congress. The correct answer is option B. It helped revive a sense of national identity. Explanation. Nationalists collected folk songs, stories, and traditions to restore pride in India's cultural heritage. Figures like Rabindranath Tagore and Natesa Sastry emphasized folklore as a way to counter British claims of Indian inferiority. 34. How did nationalists use historical narratives to promote independence? Option A. By glorifying India's ancient achievements. Option B. By promoting British contributions. Option C. By ignoring the past. Option D. By discouraging history studies. The correct answer is option A. By glorifying India's ancient achievements. Explanation. Nationalist historians emphasized India's rich cultural, scientific, and economic past before colonial rule. They argued that British rule had led to decline, encouraging Indians to reclaim their heritage and fight for freedom. MC35. What did the Swadeshi movement's tricolor flag symbolize? Option A, British unity. Option B, Hindu-Muslim unity and self-rule. Option C, support for industrialization. Option D, military resistance. The correct answer is option B, Hindu-Muslim unity and self-rule. Explanation. The flag with red, green, and yellow colors represented different Indian communities. The 8 lotuses symbolized India's provinces, while the crescent moon highlighted Hindu-Muslim unity, making it a powerful nationalist symbol. MC36. What was the key symbol of the Gandhian Swaraj flag? Option A, a lion. Option B, a spinning wheel. Option C, a British crown. Option D, a book. The correct answer is option B, a spinning wheel. Explanation. Gandhi's Swaraj flag had a spinning wheel at the center, symbolizing self-reliance and economic independence through khadi production. It reflected his vision of self-sufficiency and resistance against British industrial goods. 37. How did the Quit India movement differ from previous nationalist movements? Option A, it demanded complete British withdrawal. Option B, it sought dominion status. Option C, it was led by the Muslim League. Option D, it relied on British support. The correct answer is option A. It demanded complete British withdrawal. Explanation. Launched in 1942, the Quit India movement was a mass uprising demanding immediate independence. Unlike earlier protests, it called for complete British withdrawal and saw widespread participation from all sections of society. MCQ 38. What was Gandhi's famous slogan during the Quit India movement? Option A, Swaraj is my birthright. Option B, do or die. Option C, Simon go back. Option D, Jai Hind. The correct answer is option B, do or die. Explanation. In 1942, Gandhi urged Indians to adopt a do-or-die approach, emphasizing total commitment to ending British rule. This slogan galvanized mass participation in the Quit India movement. MCQ 39. How did the British respond to the Quit India movement? Option A, they granted independence. Option B, they arrested thousands of leaders. Option C, they negotiated immediately. Option D, they encouraged protests. The correct answer is option B. They arrested thousands of leaders. Explanation. The British government reacted with severe repression, arresting Gandhi, Nehru, and thousands of others. Despite this, the movement paralyzed British administration in many parts of India. 40. Why was the Quit India movement considered a mass movement? Option A, it involved only Congress leaders. Option B, it had limited participation. Option C, it united all sections of society. Option D, it was led by industrialists. The correct answer is option C, it united all sections of society. Explanation. The movement included students, workers, women, and peasants, making it one of the most widespread struggles against British rule. It marked the final phase of India's fight for independence. MCQ 41. What was the main goal of the Quit India movement? Option A, to demand complete British withdrawal. Option B, to negotiate with the British. Option C, to support the British war effort. Option D, to promote industrialization. The correct answer is option A, to demand complete British withdrawal. Explanation. The Quit India movement, launched in August 1942, aimed at forcing the British to leave India immediately. It was a direct call for complete independence, unlike previous movements that had focused on constitutional reforms or dominion status. MC 42. Which prominent female leader played an active role in the Quit India movement? Option A, Sarojini Naidu. Option B, Aruna Asaf Ali. Option C, Annie Besant. Kasturba Gandhi. The correct answer is option B, Aruna Asaf Ali. Explanation. Aruna Asaf Ali was a key leader in the Quit India movement. She hoisted the Indian flag at the Gowalia Tank Maidan in Bombay and encouraged underground resistance against British rule. MC3. What was a key feature of the British response to the Quit India movement? Option A. Immediate transfer of power. Option B. Use of extreme repression and mass arrests. Option C. Introduction of democratic reforms. Option D. Alliance with Indian leaders. The correct answer is option B. Use of extreme repression and mass arrests. Explanation. The British government arrested thousands of leaders, including Gandhi and Nehru, imposed severe restrictions, and used brutal force to suppress the movement. Despite this, the movement paralyzed British administration in many regions. 44. What did the Quit India movement demonstrate about Indian nationalism? Option A. It was confined to elite groups. Option B. It was weakening. Option C. It had mass participation from diverse groups. Option D. It was dependent on British cooperation. The correct answer is option C. It had mass participation from diverse groups. Explanation. The movement showed that Indian nationalism had reached its peak, involving people from all backgrounds, including students, workers, and peasants. It proved that Indians were determined to achieve complete independence. MCQ 45. Why did the British ultimately decide to leave India? Option A. Due to economic losses and international pressure. Option B. Because Indians stopped protesting. Option C. Because World War II ended. Option D. Because they gained support from Indian leaders. The correct answer is option A. Due to economic losses and international pressure. Explanation. By the end of World War II, Britain was economically weakened, and international pressure, combined with continuous resistance movements like Quit India, forced them to negotiate India's independence. MCQ 46. What was the impact of World War II on India's independence movement? Option A. It strengthened British control. Option B. It weakened British authority and economy. Option C. It led to more support for British rule. Option D. It caused Indians to abandon nationalism. The correct answer is option B. It weakened British authority and economy. Explanation. The war drained Britain's resources and intensified Indian nationalist movements. The demand for independence became stronger, leading to the eventual decision to leave India. MC 47. What was one major social impact of the nationalist movements in India? Option A. Strengthening of caste divisions. Option B. Increased unity among diverse groups. Option C. Decrease in political awareness. Option D. Strengthening of British rule. The correct answer is option B. Increased unity among diverse groups. Explanation. The freedom struggle brought together various communities, including Hindus, Muslims, Dalits, and women, fostering a collective national identity despite internal differences. MC 48. What role did students play in the Quit India movement? Option A. They acted as British informants. Option B. They stayed out of the movement. Option C. They played an active role in protests and strikes. Option D. They focused only on education. The correct answer is option C. They played an active role in protests and strikes. Explanation. Students were at the forefront of the Quit India movement, organizing protests, boycotting schools, and participating in underground resistance activities against British rule. MCQ 49. How did the British justify their rule in India? Option A. By claiming to bring economic prosperity. Option B. By saying Indians were incapable of self-rule. Option C. By promoting democracy. Option D. By giving Indians full autonomy. The correct answer is option B, by saying Indians were incapable of self-rule. Explanation. The British justified their control by arguing that Indians were not ready for self-governance. Nationalist leaders countered this by highlighting India's rich history of governance and economic strength before colonization. MQ 50. What was the significance of nationalist symbols in India's freedom struggle? Option A, they divided different communities. Option B, they inspired collective unity and resistance. Option C, they promoted British rule. Option D, they discouraged mass participation. The correct answer is option B. They inspired collective unity and resistance. Explanation. Symbols like Bharat Mata, the tricolor flag, and folk songs helped unify people and evoke a strong emotional connection to the freedom movement, strengthening nationalist sentiments. MC 51. What was the role of folk songs and stories in the Indian nationalist movement? Option A. They helped revive Indian cultural identity. Option B. They promoted British rule. Option C. They encouraged caste discrimination. Option D. They were banned by the Congress. The correct answer is option A. They helped revive Indian cultural identity. Explanation. Folk songs, stories, and traditions were used by nationalists to promote Indian heritage and counter British narratives of Indian inferiority. Collecting and preserving these traditions helped strengthen a shared national identity. MCQ 52. What was the significance of the Swadeshi movement's use of the tricolor flag? Option A. It symbolized British power. Option B. It represented Hindu-Muslim unity and self-rule. It was used only in religious ceremonies. Option D. It was adopted from the British flag. The correct answer is option B. It represented Hindu-Muslim unity and self-rule. Explanation. The flag had three colors, red, green, and yellow, symbolizing Hindu-Muslim unity. It became an important nationalist symbol, representing resistance to British rule and the desire for self-governance. MCQ 53. What did the spinning wheel symbolize in the Gandhian Swaraj flag? Option A. Industrial development. Option B. Self-reliance and economic independence. Option C. British economic policies. Option D. Military strength. The correct answer is option B, self-reliance and economic independence. Explanation. The spinning wheel, charkha, represented Gandhi's vision of self-reliance through khadi production. It encouraged Indians to boycott British goods and embrace indigenous industries as part of the freedom struggle. MC 54. How did nationalists use history to promote India's freedom struggle? Option A, by highlighting British contributions. Option B, by glorifying India's past achievements. Option C, by rejecting all historical studies. Option D, by supporting British education policies. The correct answer is option B, by glorifying India's past achievements. Explanation. Nationalist historians emphasized India's ancient cultural, scientific, and economic advancements to instill pride and encourage resistance against colonial rule, countering British claims of Indian inferiority. 55. Why did the Quit India movement gain widespread participation? Option A. It focused on constitutional reforms. Option B. It demanded complete British withdrawal. Option C. It supported British rule. Option D. It excluded the masses. The correct answer is option B. It demanded complete British withdrawal. Explanation. The Quit India movement, launched in 1942, called for an immediate end to British rule. It involved people from all sections of society, making it one of the most powerful mass movements in India's history. MC 56. What was a major British reaction to the Quit India movement? Option A. They immediately granted independence. Option B. They arrested thousands of leaders and suppressed protests. Option C. They supported Indian demands. Option D. They withdrew from India immediately. The correct answer is option B. They arrested thousands of leaders and suppressed protests. Explanation. The British responded with severe repression, mass arrests, and violent crackdowns on protests. Despite this, the movement created significant pressure that ultimately contributed to India's independence. MC 57. How did women contribute to the Quit India movement? Option A, by leading armed revolts. Option B, by participating in protests and underground activities. Option C, by opposing the movement. Option D, by staying at home. The correct answer is option B, by participating in protests and underground activities. Explanation: women actively participated in the movement by organizing protests, distributing secret messages, and taking part in civil disobedience. Leaders like Aruna Asaf Ali played a crucial role in mobilizing women. MC 58. Why was the Quit India movement considered a turning point in India's freedom struggle? Option A. It was the first nationalist movement. Option B. It led to immediate independence. Option C. It completely paralyzed British administration. Option D. It gained global attention and forced the British to reconsider their rule. The correct answer is option D. It gained global attention and forced the British to reconsider their rule. Explanation: the movement gained international recognition and showed Britain that its rule in India was no longer sustainable. Combined with economic challenges post-World War II, it forced the British to plan their exit. M59. What was the significance of the Do or Die slogan in the Quit India movement? Option A. It encouraged violence. Option B. It called for complete commitment to freedom. It supported British rule. Option D. It promoted industrialization. The correct answer is option B. It called for complete commitment to freedom. Explanation: Gandhi's Do or Die speech in 1942 urged Indians to commit themselves fully to the struggle for independence, reinforcing the urgency and seriousness of the Quit India movement. MCQ 60. What role did students play in India's nationalist movements? Option A. They remained neutral. Option B. They actively participated in protests and boycotts. Option C. They supported British policies. Option D. They focused only on their education. The correct answer is option B. They actively participated in protests and boycotts. Explanation: students played a crucial role in various movements, including Quit India. They boycotted schools, organized protests, and contributed to underground resistance efforts. MC 61. What was the impact of the Quit India movement on British rule in India? Option A. It strengthened British control. Option B. It exposed British vulnerabilities and increased international pressure. Option C. It led to Gandhi's resignation. Option D. It resulted in a new British constitution for India. The correct answer is option B. It exposed British vulnerabilities and increased international pressure. Explanation: the Quit India movement intensified resistance against British rule and attracted global attention. Post-World War II, Britain faced economic and political difficulties, making it difficult to maintain control over India. MCQ 62. Why did some Indians oppose the Quit India movement? Option A. They supported British rule. Option B. They feared violence and instability. Option C. They wanted immediate negotiations with the British. Option D. All of the above. The correct answer is option D. All of the above. Explanation: some Indians, including certain political groups, felt the movement could lead to chaos, while others preferred negotiations. The Muslim League and princely states did not fully support it, as they had different political goals. MCQ 63. What did Mahatma Gandhi emphasize about nationalism? Option A. It should be based on violence. Option B. It should be inclusive and unite all communities. Option C. It should focus only on Hindu interests. Option D. It should align with British policies. The correct answer is option B. It should be inclusive and unite all communities. Explanation: Gandhi's nationalism was rooted in non-violence and unity. He sought to bring together Hindus, Muslims, Dalits, and women in the struggle for self-rule, making the movement more inclusive. MCQ 64. What was the main reason for British reluctance to leave India immediately after World War II? Option A. They wanted to continue ruling India. Option B, they feared communal violence and instability. Option C, they needed Indian resources for economic recovery. Option D, they had support from all Indian leaders. The correct answer is option B. They feared communal violence and instability. Explanation. The British government feared that India's independence could lead to large-scale communal violence between Hindus and Muslims, delaying the process of granting independence. 65. How did the concept of collective belonging develop in the Indian freedom struggle? Option A, through the use of British education. Option B, through symbols, history, and shared experiences. Option C, by supporting only elite participation. Option D, by rejecting cultural traditions. The correct answer is option B, through symbols, history, and shared experiences. Explanation. Nationalist leaders used cultural symbols, historical narratives, folk traditions, and mass movements to create a sense of unity and collective identity among Indians. MCQ 66. What was the role of religious symbols in Indian nationalism? Option A. They were used to unite people but also created divisions. Option B. They were rejected by all nationalist leaders. Option C. They had no impact on nationalism. Option D. They were imposed by the British. The correct answer is option A. They were used to unite people but also created divisions. Explanation. Religious symbols like Bharat Mata and references to past rulers inspired national pride. However, some symbols, being predominantly Hindu, alienated Muslim communities, creating tensions. 67. Why did nationalists promote the revival of folk traditions? Option A, to connect with rural populations and restore cultural pride. Option B, to discourage British education. Option C, to promote caste divisions. Option D, to replace industrialization. The correct answer is option A, to connect with rural populations and restore cultural pride. Explanation. Folk traditions, including songs, stories, and artwork, were revived to unite people and counter British portrayals of India as backward. This helped create a sense of belonging and resistance. MCQ 68. What was the effect of nationalist movements on women's political role? Option A, women gained full political equality. Option B, women participated actively but remained symbolically represented. Option C, women were excluded from all movements. Option D, women became dominant leaders in Congress. The correct answer is option B. Women participated actively but remained symbolically represented. Explanation. Women played significant roles in protests and civil disobedience, yet they were largely given symbolic positions in leadership rather than actual political power. M69. What challenge did the Congress face in maintaining unity within the nationalist movement? Option A. Different groups had varied expectations from freedom. Option B. The British successfully divided Indians. Option C. Only one community participated. Option D. Congress lacked leadership. The correct answer is option A. Different groups had varied expectations from freedom. Explanation. The Congress had to balance the demands of different groups, peasants, workers, industrialists, women, Dalits, and religious communities, while ensuring unity in the struggle for independence. 70. What was the significance of the nationalist slogan, Purna Swaraj? Option A. It called for complete independence from British rule. Option B. It promoted limited self-government. Option C. It supported British policies. Option D. It was only a symbolic declaration. The correct answer is option A. It called for complete independence from British rule. Explanation. The demand for Purna Swaraj, complete independence, was officially declared at the Lahore Congress in 1929, marking a shift from demands for dominion status to total self-rule. MQ 71. What was one of the major weaknesses of the nationalist movement? Option A. Lack of leadership. Option B. internal divisions among different social groups. Option C, support for British rule. Option D, lack of public participation. The correct answer is option B, internal divisions among different social groups. Explanation. Despite its mass appeal, the nationalist movement had internal divisions based on caste, class, and religion. Different groups had varied expectations from independence, which sometimes created conflicts within the movement. MCQ 72. What was the primary reason for the failure of the Simon Commission in India? Option A, it proposed economic reforms. Option B, it had no Indian members. Option C, it supported self-rule for India. It was welcomed by Congress. The correct answer is option B, it had no Indian members. Explanation. The Simon Commission, formed in 1927, was rejected by Indians because it did not include any Indian representatives. This led to widespread protests with the slogan, "Simon Go Back." MCQ 73. Why was the Jallianwala Bagh massacre a turning point in the Indian independence movement? Option A, it strengthened British control. Option B, it led to global outrage and increased nationalist fervor. Option C, it resulted in peace between Indians and the British. Option D, it weakened the nationalist movement. The correct answer is option B. It led to global outrage and increased nationalist fervor. Explanation. The brutal killing of hundreds of unarmed civilians by General Dyer in 1919 outraged Indians and intensified anti-colonial sentiments. It led to stronger demands for complete independence. MC74. What was the main objective of the Khilafat movement? Option A, to demand economic reforms. Option B, to support British rule. Option C, to protect the Ottoman Caliphate. Option D, to establish a Hindu nation. The correct answer is option C, to protect the Ottoman Caliphate. Explanation. The Khilafat movement, 1919 to 1924, was launched to protest against British actions that weakened the Ottoman Caliphate. Gandhi supported it to unite Hindus and Muslims in the independence struggle. MCQ 75. How did the Salt March impact the freedom movement? Option A, it had no effect on British policies. Option B, it inspired nationwide civil disobedience. Option C, it led to immediate independence. Option D, it was ignored by the people. The correct answer is option B. It inspired nationwide civil disobedience. Explanation. The Salt March, led by Gandhi in 1930, was a major act of non-violent resistance. It inspired people across India to break salt laws and protest against British economic policies. Why did Mahatma Gandhi choose salt as the symbol of protest in 1930? Option A. Salt was a basic necessity and affected everyone. Option B. It was the most expensive British import. Option C. It was a religious symbol. Option D. The British encouraged salt production in India. The correct answer is option A. Salt was a basic necessity and affected everyone. Explanation. Salt was a daily necessity for all Indians, making it an ideal symbol for a mass movement. The British monopoly on salt production and taxation made it a powerful issue to unite people. M77. What was the immediate consequence of the Salt March? Option A. It forced the British to leave India. Option B. It led to the civil disobedience movement. Option C. It resulted in Gandhi's exile. Option D. It weakened the Congress Party. The correct answer is option B. It led to the civil disobedience movement. Explanation. The Salt March marked the beginning of the civil disobedience movement. Thousands joined protests, refusing to pay taxes and boycotting British goods, strengthening the independence movement. MCU 78. How did the British government respond to the civil disobedience movement? Option A. By granting independence. Option B. By violently suppressing protests and arresting leaders. Option C. By holding immediate elections. Option D. By promoting Indian leaders. correct answer is option B, by violently suppressing protests and arresting leaders. Explanation: the British used force to crush the movement, arresting thousands of protesters, including Gandhi. Despite this, the movement significantly weakened British authority in India. MCQ 79. Why was the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, 1931, signed? Option A, to completely end British rule. Option B, to end the civil disobedience movement and release political prisoners. Option C, to grant India immediate independence. Option D, to support British economic policies. The correct answer is option B, to end the civil disobedience movement and release political prisoners. Explanation: the Gandhi-Irwin Pact resulted in the suspension of the civil disobedience movement. In return, the British agreed to release political prisoners and allow Indians to produce salt. However, the movement resumed when British repression continued. MCQ 80. What was the reaction of the Indian business community to the civil disobedience movement? Option A, they fully supported British rule. Option B, they initially supported it, but later withdrew due to fears of socialism. Option C, they did not participate at all. Option D, they financed British industries. The correct answer is option B. They initially supported it, but later withdrew due to fears of socialism. Explanation: many Indian industrialists initially supported the movement, hoping to end British economic restrictions. However, they later withdrew support due to concerns over socialist ideas and labor unrest. MCQ 81. What was a major reason for the limited participation of Dalits in the civil disobedience movement? Option A, they were indifferent to politics. Option B, Congress failed to address their concerns. Option C, they fully supported the British. Option D, they lacked awareness about the movement. The correct answer is option B. Congress failed to address their concerns. Explanation: the Congress avoided prioritizing Dalit issues, fearing backlash from conservative upper castes. Dalit leaders like B.R. Ambedkar advocated for separate political representation, leading to tensions with Congress. MC 82. How did the Pune Pact, 1932, impact Dalit political representation? Option A, it gave Dalits separate electorates. Option B, it provided reserved seats for Dalits in legislatures. Option C, it banned Dalits from voting. Option D, it granted Dalits full political rights. The correct answer is option B. It provided reserved seats for Dalits in legislatures. Explanation: the Pune Pact was a compromise between Gandhi and Ambedkar. Instead of separate electorates, it provided reserved seats for Dalits in the general electorate, ensuring their political inclusion. Why did many Muslims feel alienated from the Congress after the 1920s? Option A, Congress was increasingly associated with Hindu nationalist groups. Option B, Congress supported British rule. Option C, Muslims preferred economic reforms over independence. Option D, the Muslim League opposed nationalism. The correct answer is option A. Congress was increasingly associated with Hindu nationalist groups. Explanation: the rise of Hindu nationalist groups like the Hindu Mahasabha and Congress's failure to address Muslim concerns led to increasing alienation among many Muslim leaders. MCQ 84. What was Muhammad Iqbal's argument for Muslim representation in India? Option A, Muslims should fully integrate into Congress. Option B, Muslims needed separate electorates for political security. Option C, Muslims should support the British. Option D, Muslims should focus only on education. The correct answer is option B. Muslims needed separate electorates for political security. Explanation: Iqbal believed that Muslims needed separate electorates to protect their political identity and interests. His ideas later influenced the demand for Pakistan. MC 85. What was the significance of the All Parties Conference, 1928? Option A, it successfully united all Indian political groups. Option B, it attempted to resolve Hindu-Muslim representation issues. Option C, it supported British rule. Option D, it led to immediate independence. The correct answer is option B. It attempted to resolve Hindu-Muslim representation issues. Explanation. The conference sought to address minority representation in future governance. However, strong opposition from Hindu nationalist groups prevented a lasting Hindu-Muslim compromise. MCQ 86. How did the nationalist movement influence cultural identity in India? Option A. It promoted British customs. Option B. It encouraged people to connect with their traditions. Option C. It discouraged folk traditions. Option D. It focused only on economic issues. The correct answer is option B. It encouraged people to connect with their traditions. Explanation. The freedom struggle revived interest in Indian traditions, folklore, and symbols like Bharat Mata. This helped create a unified cultural identity among Indians. MCQ 87. How did nationalists use Bharat Mata as a symbol of independence? Option A. It represented India as a divine motherland. Option B. It was a British symbol. Option C. It promoted industrialization. Option D. It symbolized foreign rule. The correct answer is option A. It represented India as a divine motherland. Explanation. Bharat Mata was portrayed as a powerful and spiritual figure, evoking national pride and unity. It was used in art and literature to inspire the freedom movement. MQ 88. What was the purpose of the Swadeshi movement's tricolor flag? Option A. It represented British rule. Option B. It was used only for religious purposes. Option C. It symbolized unity among different communities. Option D. It was adopted from the British flag. The correct answer is option C. It symbolized unity among different communities. Explanation. The flag had different colors to represent Hindu-Muslim unity and self-rule. It became an important nationalist symbol during the freedom struggle. MCQ 89. How did the revival of Indian folklore support the nationalist movement? Option A. It encouraged people to value their cultural heritage. Option B. It justified British rule. Option C. It discouraged political participation. Option D. It promoted caste divisions. The correct answer is option A. It encouraged people to value their cultural heritage. Explanation. Nationalists collected folk songs, stories, and traditions to restore pride in India's cultural identity and resist colonial narratives that depicted India as backward. MCQ 90. Why did nationalist historians emphasize India's ancient achievements? Option A. To argue that India had a history of self-rule and prosperity before British colonization. Option B. To support British rule. Option C. To encourage foreign investment. Option D. To promote caste-based politics. The correct answer is option A. To argue that India had a history of self-rule and prosperity before British colonization. Explanation. Nationalists highlighted India's achievements in science, mathematics, architecture, and governance to counter British claims that India was incapable of self-rule. MCQ 91. Why did the Congress choose January 26, 1930 as Independence Day? Option A. It was a religious festival. Option B. It marked the adoption of Purna Swaraj. Option C. It was the day the British left India. Option D. It was declared by the British. The correct answer is option B. It marked the adoption of Purna Swaraj. Explanation. The Congress, under Jawaharlal Nehru's leadership, declared Purna Swaraj, complete independence, at the Lahore session in 1929 and decided to celebrate January 26, 1930, as Independence Day to reaffirm their demand. MCQ 92. What was the primary focus of the civil disobedience movement? Option A. Boycotting British goods only. Option B. Breaking colonial laws and refusing to cooperate with the government. Option C. Seeking British concessions. Option D. Promoting industrial growth. The correct answer is option B, breaking colonial laws and refusing to cooperate with the government. Explanation. The civil disobedience movement, initiated by Gandhi in 1930, encouraged Indians to defy unjust British laws, boycott foreign goods, refuse tax payments, and engage in mass protests. MCQ 93. What was the impact of the civil disobedience movement on Indian politics? Option A. It led to immediate independence. Option B. It weakened the nationalist movement. Option C. It united various sections of society against British rule. Option D. It caused divisions within Congress. The correct answer is option C. It united various sections of society against British rule. Explanation. The movement brought together people from different backgrounds, including peasants, industrialists, and women, strengthening the demand for complete independence. MCQ 94. Why did the civil disobedience movement slow down after 1932? Option A. British repression and loss of enthusiasm. Option B. Gandhi's exile. Option C. Lack of British response. Option D. Support for British rule. The correct answer is option A, British repression and loss of enthusiasm. Explanation. The British crackdown, mass arrests, and internal divisions among nationalist groups weakened the movement, leading to a decline in participation by 1934. MCQ 95. What role did the Indian business class play in the nationalist movement? Option A. They opposed independence. Option B. They supported the movement initially but later withdrew. Option C. They remained neutral. Option D. They worked closely with the British. The correct answer is option B. They supported the movement initially, but later withdrew. Explanation. Business leaders initially supported the movement, hoping for economic freedom, but later withdrew their support due to concerns about socialist influences and labor movements. MCQ 96. Why did the workers not participate in the civil disobedience movement in large numbers? Option A. They fully supported British rule. Option B. Congress did not include workers' demands in its agenda. Option C. They were unaware of the movement. Option D. They were afraid of police action. The correct answer is option B. Congress did not include workers' demands in its agenda. Explanation. Congress avoided raising workers' issues, fearing it would alienate industrialists who supported the movement. As a result, workers remained on the periphery of the struggle. M97. How did women's participation in the civil disobedience movement change their role in society? Option A. It gave them full political rights. Option B. It increased their visibility in nationalist politics, but did not lead to equality. Option C. It led to their exclusion from politics. Option D. It had no impact on their status. The correct answer is option B. It increased their visibility in nationalist politics, but did not lead to equality. Explanation. Women actively participated in protests, marches, and boycotts. However, despite their contributions, they were largely given symbolic roles within the nationalist leadership. MCQA. How did communalism impact the freedom struggle? Option A. It strengthened national unity. Option B. It created divisions between Hindus and Muslims. Option C. It led to immediate independence. It was completely rejected by all leaders. The correct answer is option B. It created divisions between Hindus and Muslims. Explanation. Communal tensions between Hindus and Muslims, fueled by political disagreements and British policies, led to divisions that affected the nationalist movement and ultimately contributed to partition. MC 99. What was the main idea behind the nationalist interpretation of history? Option A. To promote British contributions. Option B. To highlight India's past glory and self-rule. Option C. To discourage political participation. Option D. To emphasize Western education. The correct answer is option B. To highlight India's past glory and self-rule. Explanation. Nationalists wrote histories that celebrated India's ancient achievements in science, governance, and culture to counter British claims that Indians were unfit for self-rule. MCQ 100. What was the ultimate achievement of India's nationalist movements? Option A. Complete independence from British rule. Option B. Limited reforms by the British. Option C. Increased British investments. Option D. Permanent division of India. The correct answer is option A. Complete independence from British rule. Explanation. The nationalist struggle, led by figures like Gandhi, Nehru, and Patel, culminated in India gaining independence on August 15, 1947, after decades of resistance and mass movements. Congratulations on completing this MCQ challenge on nationalism in India. We hope you found these 100 carefully curated questions insightful and helpful in strengthening your knowledge for exams. Remember, revising MCQs regularly improves your recall and boosts your confidence during exams. Each question in this video is designed to cover essential concepts, helping you ace board exams, competitive exams, and entrance tests. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to ExHub MCQs for more exam-oriented content. Hit the bell icon to stay notified about our latest uploads. Want more practice? Explore our channel for topic-wise MCQs, detailed explanations, and mock tests. Your success is our mission, and we are committed to providing you with the best learning resources. Share your feedback in the comments below. Let us know which topics you want us to cover next. Stay focused, keep practicing, and succeed with ExHub MCQs.